Hey everybody! So we have someone from the chat already in. If you guys didn't notice, the link is there if anyone wants to come in. Because this, I know in this past year, lots happened, and there are positives. And I think that we've talked about it quite a few times. Lando's been here for it. We've had talks about positivity and positive moments and trying to focus on them. But what we haven't done is really kind of set aside a day to really talk about it. That way, there we can kind of give yourself a reset button to remember. This will be like a memory point where you're going to remember things that are talked about today and maybe lighten your mood a little bit. So for me, one of them is the community. I know Lando, you've changed a lot in the past year and gotten a little more out of your introvert zone and become more of an extrovert in the past year. So in my eyes, that's kind of a positive. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, what Tim means for us stupid people, I've gone more insane. No, yeah, I can definitely see myself changing here and there.
Yeah, and it brings out like a part of me that was dormant for a long time. Just kind of sat there and I kind of like wanted to. I kept feeling the urges to try and help more often. And every once in a while, like I helped to take care of the special needs guys I help with and stuff. But that was about the extent of it. And when I wasn't doing it, I wasn't doing anything. And I felt kind of empty, like hollow. And
Mhm.
the community has changed that and made me feel more whole again. And I'm feeling the ambitions and stuff to do things I didn't used to do. Like I'm repairing a bike right now for my friend. In fact, all I'm doing is waiting for one part and it's done. One cover hasn't come in yet for the instrument cluster because he busted the casing on it. But and everything else is together. I was doing that today, and that's something I love doing, but something I haven't done because I didn't have that positive ambition to do it. And the only way to do that is to focus on the positives and maybe feel it. When you feel it, embrace it. Don't let it slip by. It's so easy to just ignore a positive because you focus on, well, you got to deal with the negatives. You have no choice. Like when there's a bat in
Mhm.
Lando's house, he has no choice but to go deal with it. And I'm only bringing that up because it is something this is a real thing. When he has a bat in the house, he's forced to deal with it and he doesn't want to. Am I correct?
Oh, definitely correct. And I pretty much unleashed my fucking anger on these bets. I mean, every single one that we've had for the past couple of years now, I've killed them. I remember one time we had a bat flying through our living room, and I went ape shit on that thing. Once I caught it with the fucking broom, I just went ham on it. I even screamed, fucking die already, in
So,
front of
so
my own mother.
you can see Lando went a little batty in the past year. Yeah, Addie, love you,
Anyways,
brother. Yeah, and there's a if you are doubtful of positivity, need something positive to think about. Anywhere Addie's at, just ask him about something. Just say, hey, what's been going on? What's been good that you know about? I guarantee he's got something positive to say. Always does. Always a positive person. That's why the be more like Addie movement's a real thing. Be not picking on you either, Addie. It's like if I feel like I'm having an off day, I actually think like that. I'll actually say, I want to be more like
mm-hmm.
Addie. Just be more positive. Be more like James, Frames Janklin, when he's doing that positivity thing, him and Sean. And it's like, yeah, we need that. We really, truly do. But sometimes you actually
Yeah,
have to focus on literal positive. And that's what tonight's about. Real things that really happen in your life that maybe normally you just kind of let go by because it's like, oh yeah, that was good, but I'm got to worry about this. Take a moment, embrace it, set it aside in your memory banks for those bad days when things aren't going right because we all have those. Like the days Lando goes out shopping with his mom, most of them, unless he's getting something good.
yeah,
It's sad, Lando, but I know a
definitely.
lot about your good and bad days, so I can go on some of the roots of the true things. I mean, a lot of us have become introverts that weren't even before. I've always kind of been, but have been allowed to
Yeah,
in the past year, which actually is another thing. Has they been opening up out of their shells and starting to go out again? Because it's not as easy. You feel that like anxiety inside just having to go out. It's like, okay, a year ago this was nothing. Now it's I have to do this and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Celebration of life type situation, Addie, with that awake or funeral service. You know, that's it. Share the happy stories and the happy memories. When you have a chance and it's somebody that has you have video or pictures of. If you're someone you're really good, really close to, and you're worried about those bad moments kicking in too, set aside two different notebooks. One with the pictures that maybe make you feel a little more sad, and ones that make you more happy. So when you got those days when you really need to, like anniversaries, where you want to remember the sad as well because you want to get it out of your system, you can do that. But then you can also look at the positive sides and think of all the great memories you shared and remember the positive nature of the things. It's sometimes it's just a matter of putting things in perspective and separating those two things. It's so easy is that memory just makes me feel all I mean it makes me cry maybe, but it also makes me feel good inside because that was a happy moment. And pets is the same way. That's another thing. I'm going to mention it early so I don't forget. Next weekend, if anyone's in the Discord, post your pictures of pets and such. And if not, I will attach my email to this. If not, you can always message me on Facebook or whatever. I'm going to try and get some pet pictures up next week because I think that that's part of the family too. And it's something that's been done in the Yo-Yo Discord for a while. And it hasn't been done much lately. And I like that. Like when I watch Frames Janklin, his mom posts the pictures and the videos of the puppies, it makes me feel better. So I have a feeling, even if it's pets you've lost, remember their positive times and all the good times you had with them.
Yeah, like I know my dog is long gone by now because I had a pug for many years, and sadly she was taken away from me by my father's ex fiance. And the day that she was taken away was the last time I ever saw her. And I sometimes see pictures of her and I try my best not to tear up because she was my best friend. She was such a great dog, and I miss her every day. And it definitely makes me want to get another dog, but Mama Lando says hell no to that. I mean,
Yeah.
I even mentioned it in chat during Frames's little stream yesterday because he mentioned that people might hear the puppies that his dogs have been or had. And at first I didn't hear him, but after a couple minutes, then I heard him through my headphones because all my audio is from my headphones. So I heard the puppies, and it made my bad day a little better hearing puppies in the background.
It's amazing how an animal can do that. And even if people that are allergic to them, if they can see pictures or video, it does that.
Oh yeah,
It can help you feel better. It's just unfortunate. There's some people that love pets and they might just be allergic to them, and that's sad.
mm-hmm.
But you can vicariously a little bit enjoy those pets through video or, well, through YouTube videos
Yeah,
a lot, stuff like that. So there's
yeah,
ways of doing it.
like I'm kind of allergic to dogs, but I'm more allergic to cats mostly because I know my grandmother, for her passing, she had a cat for many years, and it was a real friendly cat. It would jump on top of me and wait for me to pet it and stuff. Well, after I pet it and took it off my lap and got all the cat hair off of me, my eyes would start watering and start itching. It didn't happen all the time, but it did happen. And it wasn't just with my grandma's cat, it happened with other people's cats. So, but with dogs, I rarely ever have that happen to me. I know my mother, she's worse at it. She's near a cat, she'll start sneezing and she'll look like shit for days.
Yeah. And, we have so many people in this community that have pets. We see pictures of them every now and then or hear about them. or I
Yeah.
mean, pets when they're lost. I know a few people lost a few of their pets lately, and that's tough. In the fall, you actually lose them
Yeah.
quite often, more in the fall and the winter. But sometimes, especially in the spring, this is a time when you want to kind of get out there and do things, and maybe you just don't feel that oomph, that feeling inside you to get you out there to get moving because of losing a pet or a loved one. And
Yeah.
that's where we focus on those positives, and it can kind of get you moving and motivated again. So, and yeah, Addie tuning the maple syrup was delicious. We had homemade blueberry pancakes today, out of flour, so we can't have any more for a few days unless I go get flour. I didn't know about it until today. No one told me. So yeah, yeah, English scones. Ooh, orange in them last night. Now that sounds good too. See, there we go, Lando. Happy food thoughts. Now I know that there are foods that actually make you happy. Is there something specific you've had in this past week that you've liked better than everything else?
Well, thanks to something that a lot of us know as shed time, I had stuff that I normally don't eat on a regular basis or try to stay away from, like donuts, for instance. I haven't had a donut in almost a year. Thanks to shed time, I broke that rule and bought, I think it was half a dozen donuts and had them gone like the next day. Plus, I bought a quarter, either it's half of a gallon or a quarter of a gallon of ice cream. Had that gone in like maybe 24 hours. So yeah, it made me happy, but then again, I was really happy because I had shed time in my system.
Now remember, balance your happiness with healthiness. Try to balance those a little. Sounds like you might have went a little. So,
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, when it comes to my dieting, I've been doing horrible. I haven't even weighed myself lately, and I already know that I've gained at least 20 to 30 more pounds since the last time I checked my weight. Because last time I checked my weight, I was at right around, I'd say 310, 315. I definitely am pushing 350 at least, maybe close to that. I'm not sure. Like I said, haven't weighed myself in quite some time, and I'm scared to actually weigh myself because of that.
and since how we have Addy here, I want to ask him while we have him here. In the past week, we're just going to do it for the week for the people that do things regularly. What is your favorite DIY mix you've made or came up with? Whether or not it was one that was made by someone else and you tried it, what was your favorite one you made this week that you hadn't tried before? I'm curious about that because it might be something we all like too. Because Addie's pretty much like a magician when it comes to that. Addie and Fresh and gave you TV. Oh, oh,
Yeah, I
I
believe
can't
it.
tell.
I
I
mean,
can't tell you. Go ahead.
yeah, I've never had Addie's liquors, but I I've known him longer than I've known most people in the community. I mean, I was only vaping maybe 6 months to a year when I started seeing Addie in chats and stuff. That's when I started branching out to try to make friends and get more info on vaping because I started out blind as a bat. I've mentioned this in other shows. I've probably even mentioned it on here multiple times. And yeah, I pretty sure I met Addy through Fresh O Three's channel. I would see him in chat, and then I, of course, see him on his show here and there.
Yeah.
But
It,
yeah, like I said, I've never had his liquids, but I'm pretty sure they're damn good from all the positivity I've seen people say about them.
right there, gelato de cream. He's right there. Oh, that actually sounds really good. I might have to get whatever's in that. Is that one of your recipes there, Eddie? I got click. I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna probably get taken out of there. But I gotta see this. And this is this one by him? No, it's the one by Wendy. Okay, yep. So he liked that one. All right, that's good to know. I do remember them making that actually. Uh, no, it's just that's the other thing. Wendy Vape's channel. He's on there as well, and you watch him, DeMillan, and Wendy make them there. You watch Fresh and I got to say crew because it's always a little bit of mix up of a lot of great people, and not to mention that's another positive I can say in the past week on Fresh O Three's channel. They finally hit the goal for Mike's fundraiser. They broke 30K, so for his family,
Nice.
and that is a huge deal. Warm my heart. It's just how much more positive can you get than that to help someone's family through something like that.
Oh yeah.
Lando, I haven't. I've seen the Lando dance. Have you? Lando's
Yes,
looking like he's blushing. He's blushing, folks. I can see the red coming into his cheeks.
I'm over 300 pounds. My face is always puffy and red. But yeah, I was doing a stupid dance once you started. I don't know why, but whatever. I was just being retarded.
But I am
I
very
was
happy
being
about it.
Lando.
You're being Lando. I am very happy about the trucker fundraiser and how well it did. Yeah. And you know, it's still there. You can still help out. His family's still gonna be struggling for a long time, but they're it definitely is going to help them a lot. And I know from experience with a lot of these bills, they probably haven't even got them all in yet. It takes 6 months to a year to a lot of those medical bills to roll in. So you really don't know exactly what the total is going to be. It is definitely a burden. When I had my heart issue, I had but roll. It was a year later before I even knew what I owed, and that was after they discounted it. It's still outrageous. So it's
Yeah, for me, when I last time I was in the hospital, I had a severe case of pneumonia, and for I'd have to say about 5 to maybe 7 years, had to pay the bill off in small amounts, and it took me so fucking long to pay my medical bills because I was there for maybe three, 2 to 3 weeks. I was there because it was bad. I felt like I was literally about to die,
yeah.
and
With
it took
Mike,
me
he
a
went
week
in.
to.
Mike went
Yeah, it
in
took
without
me like a.
insurance, so a
Yeah,
week.
that's got to be rough too.
But you
Yeah,
went in without that. Then he got on top of that. You know, he had tests taken like crazy because I couldn't figure out what it was. Some of the tests came back weird. Had to retake some of them. Those lab tests they add up quick, really quick. It's just
yeah, because
it,
I get tested for diabetes because it's really pretty much a thing in my dad's side of the family. My grandparents had it. I have aunts and uncles that have it, cousins. I even had my own scare, and you know this already because I've told you about it. How I've had pre-diabetes, and I had to take those pills for I think it was like 3 to 5 months or so, and I'm still eating shit that I shouldn't have.
yep. And that's another positive is the fact that you were able to stop taking those pills and you're able to find that out ahead of time. I mean, that's something that's happened in this past year.
Yeah, it
But
definitely scared the hell out of me because about a little
yeah,
over
Ernie.
a year and a half ago, I think my one of my nieces, she got tested and tested positive for pre-diabetes as well, and she had pretty much what she did instead of taking pills is that she changed her whole diet because which is a good thing because ever since she became a mom, she
Alrighty.
never really lost that baby weight. So she is a little overweight for her size and everything. So she's been trying to be more active and stuff. I mean, she's got a job where she's on her feet nonstop for hours on ends. So that helps. And the fact that she's probably sweating to death because she works as a cook at the butcher in the town she lives in. So she's always on her feet and she's near ovens and stuff. So she's definitely sweating her ass off. Plus, some workers still wear masks. So that's definitely another thing that'll help you sweat your ass off because even though I'm fully vaccinated, I still go into places with a mask if it says to or not. It's just another
It's another
precaution,
layer.
I guess.
It's another layer of protection. I mean, for one, the shots aren't 100% effective. Two,
Uh,
it also protects you against other colds and stuff that you might get. Like
mm-hmm.
the common cold this year, if you didn't notice, it wasn't even really a thing this year compared to past years. Like every year
Yeah.
since I've been alive, common cold was a huge thing. This year was hardly there. You didn't see people getting like even that much at all. And if it did, it didn't last long. The hygiene procedures being up, constantly sanitizing, washing your hands, and wearing the mask cut that down a great deal. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't think
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah. Not a lot of
Derek,
people know this really. I've seen it in documentaries and TV shows and movies and stuff. But a lot of people in Asian countries wear the mask, and this is even before COVID. They'd wear masks because they don't want others to get sick. Like if they have like a cold or the flu or something, they put a mask on so they don't make other people around them sick if they have to like go to the store or something. They
yeah, a
just
lot of
don't leave
Asian
the house.
countries have been like doing that for decades, many decades,
Mm-hmm.
where they've been wearing masks, and just common practice there for here just feels so much different because we're not used to it.
Yeah.
But it's not a terrible practice. The weirdest thing is, and I don't know if this is a positive or a negative, but it almost was. It was a weird like thrill the first time you went into the bank with a mask on, and it was expected, and you weren't going to get arrested. But you had this feeling like, am I going to get arrested? I got a mask on. I'm going into the bank. The first time you go in, it gives you that you don't feel right feeling, and then it becomes commonplace. But now it feels so commonplace to wear that mask and to go out and be careful when you're out that when you go out, it gives you anxiety to go out now, even as
Yeah.
like you said, you had your vaccinations and such.
Yeah. And there's been definitely a few times where I'd go to like Quick Trip or something and I'd totally forget to grab my mask on my way out. So I'd go inside not wearing a mask, even though it's perfectly fine to do here in Wisconsin because we're not under a mask mandate anymore. Haven't been for quite some time. But I'd go in and I felt so fucking weird not wearing a mask in the store.
I mean,
So
the
there's
world's
that.
becoming more normalized in some ways for that. That's another positive. The
Mm-hmm.
UK standing up for vaping, that's a positive for those that care about the harm reduction factor. That's a big thing. So, and we actually, like Nick Grim Green's been mentioning the last few weeks, is that one senator that actually came forward and starting because she listened to her constituents, paid attention to the stories that they were telling, which is does testimonials mean a lot. They really, really do. That's the same reason that a lot of things have been turned around in these two states that I go to all the time. It's those testimonials and those stories that matter because that means
Yeah.
more to them than a bunch of evidence that they can't have to sift through. This is like your life has changed because of it. Oh, well, maybe I should listen to this and check into this. Are more people's lives changed? Then they realize, yeah, they have. So that's when they start to listen. And this is good that we're seeing some of this pop up in the U.S. I mean, I wasn't 100% sure we were going to see that for quite a while I actually kind of thought we'd be a uphill battle for a few years before we even saw any change. We're starting to see some. From a harm reduction front, that's a really good positive trend. Yes, things got passed, but there's also the fact that how much is that's going to be enforced? They haven't been able to enforce it, like you said, for the shed time aspect. How are they going to enforce it for liquids? It's really a catch 22. They would have to have so much funding, it wouldn't be worth it to them. So I think it was more of an empty threat to shut up the Karens. So those who are there and worried about it, there's changes, and it is going to impose some taxes and stuff. That part will happen. That was inevitable, though. They wanted money. They want money off everything that they can, especially if they're losing such much money on tobacco. They're going to want to make money somewhere else. That was inevitable. Inevitable. Ugh. A little dry tongue tonight. I've been working on the bike out there today, and my allergies are kicking in really hard. I don't know if anyone else is having that, but the allergy season is still here. It has been here for so long now and so heavy. It's this year's. I don't know. Even the plants are doing better this year for some reason outside. The trees, the grass, everything. And we finally got our rain we needed.
Yeah, it rained this morning for about 25 seconds.
25 seconds. He timed it. He's like,
Yeah,
one,
like,
two. 25
well, a
seconds.
lot of
That's it.
people, yeah, a lot of people in my area of Wisconsin, they would make posts like, this is some bullshit. Like, even my cousin who lives about an hour away from me, even he was like, what the fuck was that? I thought we were going to have a storm. Not really. I mean, for a couple of hours, I would see from my bedroom window
Lightning.
lightning, and I kind of hear thunder going off too. And then I looked on my phone and saw that it was supposed to rain for, I think it said a half an hour to an hour. So I got up, took my window fan out of the window and shut my window. And by the time I did all that and got back into bed, because it was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning,
It was
the
over.
rain had ended. So I basically took my window fan out of my window for nothing.
And Arnie, you're right. It is all about the money for some. There are a lot of constituents that just don't know the difference, so they go with the flow, and they'll get swayed by the money because everybody's pushing. The ones that know they need the money, the Cuomo's, who know that they can't afford to not have that money, will push and push and push beyond. They don't even care if they technically should be impeached. I mean, the but so what comment? I'm sorry. That's just, I can't believe he got away with that. I just can't. It just drives me nuts. But there are a lot of them that just don't know, and they don't care to learn, sift through a bunch of information and learn about a whole thing that they don't really care about. So that's where your story comes in and tells them how much it's changed your life. And then to get enough of those stories that say how much it's changed their life, they have to start listening because they realize, okay, if I really care about the people, I have to listen. And that's where you're pulling at the heartstrings. It doesn't work for all of them. It will not work on Cuomo. It won't work on Bloomberg. There are a few people that you will just never, and I won't even mention the other one's name. The one that Mr. Nick Green can't stand completely. Yeah, but just want that woman's just evil to the core. So, and nuts, very nuts. But the positivity is there's some people that are listening, and that as long as that continues to grow, and while things are going kind of quiet, you're seeing things like DHD opening up her site again. You're seeing things like that happen. Some of these sites that went under because they got nervous and jumped the gun. And that's the one thing that the vaping community always has done. They're always ahead of the game. Same with the putting the childproof caps on and the labels and everything. It was before they were told they had to. They did this kind of stuff. So they're always been kind of ahead of the game. Go ahead.
They should actually call these caps idiot proof, because I don't know which one of these bottles that I got from our boy Tom L. it took
Tom
me
Holland.
at least 20 minutes to take the fucking cap off. I was like, I look
Oh,
constipated.
I have to tell him if he ever sends you more to make sure he super glues it. Yeah, red banger, by the way. Yeah, that's what I'm using.
Yeah, I'm
But
completely out of that. I just vaped the rest of it yesterday, and now I'm starting on.
and
Well,
for
can't
those who
really say starting. I
for those
already
who
did
don't know,
start on
the red
Applejack's
banger that Tom makes is actually a um, what is it? The
strawberry
strawberry
milkshake
crunch.
with
The
cookies.
strawberry crunch, um, like not really a clone. It's just kind of an upgrade actually, of like the strawberry crunch by Taylor House, is what it was inspired by. Is really the way it's saying, and it
Yeah,
I
because he
actually
listed as a strawberry milkshake with some type of frosted cookie or something like that.
yep yep. It's really good. Good job, Tom.
Oh
Really,
yeah,
it was,
yeah.
and
It took me only
a
less
few
than a
days.
month to vape. Yeah, well, almost a month because I got these about a month ago, I do believe.
How are you doing, Tabitha? While we have her in chat, I figured I better ask her how she's doing. I know she lost a pet recently too, so it's not an easy thing, like we already talked about. Just trying to focus on those positive memories you have with them, and you have to grieve, you have to let it out, you have to feel it. If you don't feel it, you're suppressing it, and it's leaves like this pit inside you that just kind of grows. It's tough. It is. It's kind of like Addie was saying, celebrating the life and stuff like that at funerals and such like that. You need to do that and let yourself feel. I made a mistake when I was younger when my father passed away. I didn't let myself feel for a while, and I had some really bad, violent outbursts at school because of it. People said something that they
Yeah,
shouldn't have said. Granted, I took it a little overboard, like really close
yeah,
to possibly like putting someone in the hospital for a very long time or worse. So it's like, yeah, I snapped. They said something about my father, and it was rude, but it was kind of like, a kid saying something snotty just to be a jackass. And I didn't respond well. So it's like, that's partially because I held it in. I didn't know what else to do. 8 years old, your father
oh
commits
yeah. I know what
suicide.
you mean.
It's hard. So make sure that if you do know any children going through that, if you have a loved one who's passed and there's children involved, check in on them too. Have a talk with them. Let them know that you're there. That's actually even more important than other adults. Make sure the children understand that it's okay to show their feelings. Maybe sit down and have a cry with them. That could actually really help them in a great deal instead of letting them hold it inside. And
Yeah,
that's the way society taught us: hold it inside, hold it inside. And
yeah. I know what you mean because when my grandmother passed away a couple of years ago, she actually passed away about three, like 3 or 4 years ago this month. I think it was like a couple weeks ago that it would have been 3 or 4 years. But when she passed away, yeah, I was sad. I mean, she was my last living grandparent. But even at her funeral, I did not shed a tear. Yes, I was sad, but I didn't mean to hold in the tears till one day I saw an old photo that one of my uncles he took it. It was just a plain photo of my grandmother, and then he edited in my grandfather, who passed years prior to that picture being taken of my grandmother, or years after. I mean, and he edited it so it looked like they were together again. And when I saw that photo, then the waterworks just went downhill, and I was a mess for like hours. I just bawled my eyes out finally after holding it in for like a week or two. after her funeral.
Yeah, but that's the best way to heal. I mean, and some I mean like you still miss her now, I'm sure. That's that's normal. You don't try
Oh
to
yeah,
force yourself to not feel it cuz some holes just I mean some wounds don't heal. I'll say losing my father and my son, those left holes in me that will never heal. They're just I've
oh
learned
yeah,
to
I know
cope with
what you
them,
mean.
but they're never going to go
Because I,
away.
yeah, I've also lost a cousin to suicide, and it still sucks. And it's been about 7 or 8 years since that happened. And the year prior to that, I lost an uncle to illness. And then a year after my cousin committed suicide, I lost another uncle. So I've lost so many damn uncles and all my grandparents and great aunts and great uncles that I really didn't know much. That whenever someone passes away, I can't find myself to cry. That's why I didn't cry at my grandmother's funeral. Last time I actually cried finding out that someone passed away was my other grandfather from my dad's side. And it was really hard on me because he was always the father figure that my dad should have been. You know, he would check up on me even though he was stuck in a fucking nursing home ever since my other grandmother passed away when I was like 10 or 11, I think. So back in 2005, when he died right in front of me. And I still picture him dying in front of me to this day. And
Yeah, that
it
that's
sucks.
that's where I can tell you from experience one of the best things you can do is really focus on some positive memories and get used to thinking about them on a regular basis. Because that memory, the day when my son passed, giving him CPR even though he was gone for while the ambulance is there, and then doing all that. That's a memory I will never forget. But I also added a lot of positive memories, and I think about them on a regular basis and try to focus on them
Oh,
as
yeah.
much detail as you can, and it helps for when those other memories come about. You try to think about these other ones and try to add it in, and it doesn't get rid of the pain, but it makes it more bearable. Because otherwise, that last day can be, or that moment, a bad moment. If anybody,
Mm-hmm.
like, we live in a community, in a big part of a community that's had a lot of cancer deaths. We've probably seen it or been attached to it in some way. There are moments even before the end that just aren't good memories. They're just it's a horror show. It really is. No pun intended
Yeah,
with
like,
our show, but they these moments and stuff. That's where you try to focus on the more positives and try to at least make it so you have an even mix of these memories when you bring it up, and really try
yeah.
hard to focus on the others and details in them. Like someone was saying at one point of time, I was talking to someone about a wedding. I said, "Do you remember what the place settings were? Do you remember details about the dresses and who was dressed in a like maybe something a little different, different cufflinks, anything, any small detail? The more detail you get into, the more you think of it, the more vivid and the more it can help take over those negative memories.
Yeah.
And it also creates a memory that's like a movie and a picture in your head rather than this foggy kind of background.
Yeah.
So sometimes
Yeah.
the more you try, the more you remember other details. You'll be like one day, oh my god, I remember this, and keep that in your head too if you remember something else, because it'll be surprised once your mind that fog clears, you start to see things a little clearer in that memory.
Yeah. Like, there's been times where I would think of,
Yet,
like,
yes, Derek, this community is awesome.
yeah, like, whenever I have that memory of my grandfather passing away in front of me,
There
there's been
is.
times where I would think of the positive things that have happened and even the funny shit that would happen. Like when I was visiting my grandfather in the nursing home and my mom left me alone with him for a few minutes. And he legit asked me, I was like 14, 15 years old at the time. He legit asked me, when's the last time I got laid? And that just cracks me up thinking about it to this day that my grandfather thought I may or may not have been a virgin. I wasn't, but still, it's something that you don't think a grandparent would ask you that kind of a question. I mean, it wasn't his exact words,
You never met my
but
grandmother. She would ask that on a regular basis. But that's just her.
yeah, but at that young of an age,
Yeah, she wasn't exactly much for the holding a veil over any kid's eyes.
he legit asked me. I was like 14, 15.
Oh, I hear an echo.
Yeah,
Someone's
sorry, I had
no worries.
to
No
pause. I
worries.
had to pause. I had to mute the stream.
Now I don't have Duchess coils in here, but I have Duchess inspired coils in
All right, well then I'm out.
here.
Oh, so they suck pretty much. Okay.
They're fucking awesome, actually. I'm really happy you talked me into it. Those are the best coils I've ever made for myself, ever. Period. They're actually quite rowdy, and they're. I mean, it's a .42 and it's rowdy. What's that tell you? Yeah, I know. I mean,
Oh shit! I forgot it's backwards day. Yeah.
yeah,
Good job, Tim.
yeah. Thanks a lot, bud.
That's what Derek says.
Yeah,
What's up, Derek?
yep. Yeah, Duchess. I was doing that all last week. So what happened here? Because remember, I was doing it every time I played Quiplash. I'd use people's names backwards. It took Derek a
Yeah.
while to realize that Carrot was him.
Yeah. I mean, there's no this.
So what do you have that went really well for you this week, Duchess, in the past week?
Um, well, I was gonna save this for the post vlog hangs, but since you asked, I went to the interview today. After because I gotta go back to work. Unfortunately, the sales aren't there enough for it to be something that's going to keep me stable, right? And not just be able to replace all the wire that I use, but also um, essentially to pay my salary and bills. You know, I got to run the electricity that charges my batteries and the lights, be able to actually see my wire, etc. But went to a job interview today and walked out with a job.
Congratulations, bro. Yeah, see? Look how quick that was. Went today, got it. That is awesome.
That's because I'm amazing at everything I do, right? So
Yeah, I knew
I'm not
that.
surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say amazing.
I'm just kidding. I know Derek in the chat is gonna be like, "Oh, ego check." No, I'm legit. I'm just joking. Like, it took me quite a while, and I was actually kind of starting to struggle there mentally with it, right? Because I was like, I've never had a problem getting a job, no matter where I go, right? Um, so like, the fact that it took me 2 weeks to find a fucking job, like, kind of started having me stress out a little bit, right? Not and like it's actually
Doubt yourself.
kind of, yeah, kind of like I started getting a little discouraged, and I was doubting myself and everything else, and I was like, well, am I really even good enough for these jobs? You know, am I good enough for these positions, etc. and whatnot, and fucking, you know, it started putting like a strain on the financials and everything else and whatnot, and I mean,
Now that's a
it's
bottle.
now it's now a weight lifted off my shoulder. Yeah, like Mango Mayhem, 240 mils inside the Odium with some Duchess 26s on top of the Ashton Palmerized custom coated version.
That is awesome.
And shout out to my dude Frames for the super liquidy fucking unicorn V2 Odium.
Yeah, you guys had. I mean, you did really well with that too. You did good in that build off. You did well in that build off. Even the one that you didn't.
I mean,
was pretty good time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that's that's what's positive that's happened this week is I now have. I'm not trying to read all that shit backwards, bro.
It's simple. It's just what Nightbot said backwards. You
Yeah,
got to read
but
it from the very bottom.
yeah, I know I was trying to, but I'm too lazy for that shit right now.
I did read it, and it's like, oh, I got it.
Yeah. So, um, what was I saying?
So
Oh
when
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
when
So
you when do you start?
that's been a relief. That's kind of like lifted off my shoulders. You know what I mean? Because now it's like I have a little bit more stability now. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of getting back on the horse and getting things done. So I apologize if any shipments slow down and or replies to any orders, even though no one's ever ordering. Um, that's fine. It's whatever, right? They'll pick up eventually. Um, but I mean,
You make a good
uh,
product. So yeah, I don't
yeah,
want to make your head swell too
starting
much, but you do. So it'll
yeah,
pick up.
starting Monday though. To answer your question,
Oh wow, next Monday already. So not only do you get the
yeah,
job in one day, but you start in just a few days. Nice.
yeah, dude, I pretty much get the rest of this week off and then straight back to work, which is going to be interesting. Um, luckily, the training class doesn't start till 1:30 in the afternoon, so I can actually still kind of sleep in a little bit, which is a positive. On top of the fact that I asked them about their appearance policy and like facial hair and shit, and she's like, "We don't have one.
Nice.
As long as you come presentable in your uniform, right, and ready to work, we don't have a policy on facial hair. Just keep it presentable." I'm like, "Oh, all right." So
Does
that's
that mean
shit.
you're gonna have more spare time to promote Derek's Spaghetti Taco Stand?
No, not wait. Let me rephrase that. Not just no. Fuck you. Hell no. Suck my dick. That's never gonna happen.
I tried, Derek. I tried to get you the best promoter in the game. It didn't work.
The only reason I even bring up the spaghetti tacos like on Tuesday was just to help you save your fucking liquid so Cassie will stop stealing it.
It doesn't work. Oh, she did. By the way, I made that one on mixing it up this week. Gone. She stole
Yeah.
it before the end
See,
of the night.
told you.
Stole it for the end of the night.
I told you make spaghetti tacos. She didn't. You didn't listen to me.
Oh, I
You
don't.
still have some liquid.
I had to leave before the end of the show. Maybe Addie could tell me. Did they actually make the Spanish rice? Did Adam make that Spanish rice? Because I know I'm not Adam Meter. Meter was thinking about working on it, but apparently
Who?
VSO has all the flavorings to make a Spanish rice, so you can do it. I'm kind of curious. I am next time I order. I am getting stuff for a savory and
I
some more
don't.
boozy vapes because
Yeah.
Mandalorian had me start doing that, and I actually kind of enjoy them.
Yeah, dude. I don't watch any mixing shows other than Clown, and that's just a support by dudes.
Oh, they did have breaks. Speaking of mixing, there's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't. I mean, I don't even mix anymore, right? So there's kind of no point in doing it, like in watching any of them. Again, the only reason I even watch mixing it up on Tuesdays is just to support Clown Sifu and Overdrew.
Yep.
And if Mitch was there, then obviously Mitch as well. So
Yeah. Well, obviously, you support Mitch with 240 milliliters of the liquid. Um,
well, that's nothing, bro. I still got this 240 mils that I gotta finish. Plus, I got a whole full bottle, a whole 240 mils of fucking goddamn the pumpkin cheesecake.
yep.
I haven't even cracked into yet. Plus, I'm still going through. Um, I've got a little bit left of this boysenberry out of the 120. Still going through fucking suck it, which is a
Jeez.
120. Uh, I'm still going through Don't Be So Melodramatic, which is a 60. Like I've got plenty of Mitch's liquids right now, so I'm good.
Um, I'm gonna text you. What? Yeah, whatever. You're right. It's a lot of backwards reading. Uh, Frank, while you're here, I already asked Addie, what is your favorite mix that you've either made for the first time or tried for the first time, whether it was your recipe or not, that you really enjoyed the most this week? Because it's just something, anybody who's mixing, and I know that you've mixed something in the past week. I mean, it's just kind of interesting to know because a lot of times this is a way to open up our minds. And the reason I watch so many mixing shows, for one, is I really love all the mixers that I know. They just it's another part of the community that's just really close knit. The ones that on this side, I guess in the UK they can get a little bit, competitive. We're not as competitive over here, but it's also because I learned so much. I would not have had such a good experience if it wasn't for all the shows. They all helped me. Is not one that I haven't taken notes from. This helped me not make that apocalypse shelf of things that I really don't ever want to touch, but I will if I have to. I don't really have one of those shelves. I've got a couple liquids that not my favorites, but I can vape them, and that says something.
Yeah.
That's only because of learning from other people, and they knew that already told me about the mistakes.
Yeah. Like this right here, I don't really care for it. I mean, I have this bottle. I have a almost full bottle of it as well. I don't really, like I said, I don't really care for it, but
Hmm.
I can vape it. It's I just leave it around here just in case if I, or not just in case, but when I run out of stuff, I can vape it till I can find some other stuff.
That's
It's
funny.
like right now, this is all I can really vape. I know I have another liquid, but like I've told you, Tim, it tastes kind of burnt to me, so I
Yep.
can't vape
Oh no, I
that
had
at
that. I
all.
know what one you're talking about. And I mean, you have to have just the right setup. But even then, after a while, it just starts to build. It's one of those builders that builds to the point where it tastes almost burnt before it's burnt. It's a weird one, and that's funny, Frank, because I'm on this the red banger that Tom made, and that's a strawberry ice cream. So it's like, yeah, it's like the what was it that I said earlier?
Strawberry milk.
Taylor House Strawberry Crunch was the inspiration for it. Yeah, but it's
And
just go ahead.
another positive thing, when I went off camera, I looked at my phone and saw that my father called and left a voicemail. Apparently, he's coming up this weekend for Father's Day breakfast, so I get to see my dad twice this month.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. That's another positive for me. My daughter's coming to visit on Father's Day for a little bit. So yeah, that actually is a big positive for the week. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the one part, and the bike's completely all restored. And if you saw how much damage was done to that bike, I did a damn good job. I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
Yeah,
Like it was a lot of it hit hard. It got down hard, and I actually was able to manually repair some of the plates and stuff, so I didn't have to buy a bunch of 100 $200 plates that I could was able to put back into shape properly without ruining the paint jobs on them, which is what surprised me. I was afraid, you crack that paint, it's gonna rust. It's like I didn't. I got so lucky. Took a lot of extra finagling to do that, but it was actually, yeah. I like working on bikes. It's always fun. Motorcycles,
yeah.
but yeah, it's all I gotta do is an oil change, and I gotta wait for the one cover that goes because he busted all the two bottom instrument covers as an inner and an outer, and the outer one hasn't come in yet, and that takes 3 screws to put on. I gotta do the oil change, and it's ready to go. So that was a positive for my week. I did most of that today just before the stream.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for you though, Duchess. It is good to see you're going back to work, and you'll still have the coil business going. It just won't be as quick a response because you have everything else going on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, I got to get used to the schedule. Plus, I'll be in training, and I mean, uh, they're going to be a little chaotic at the start, but once I kind of, get things down and get into a rhythm, then I can, at that point, I can kind of like be like, okay, well, on these 2 days because these are the 2 days off a week that I have, etc., then I can I can go through, build whatever I need to build, get all my business taken care of, ship out any packages that need to be shipped out, etc., and then go back.
Yeah, but now you'll also have the regular steady income. So this is like a supplemental unless it really kicks off and you decide to make it full time. But it'll be while you're building, you don't have to wait. It's That's a very big positive to not have that
Yeah,
worry. Because let's face it, all sales jobs, you hope there's always a chance you could have an off few weeks, a month, something happens, and you're just struggling. And this takes that off your plate for now.
yeah, yeah, it does. So
How nice. How nice of you. That is so nice of you.
I
See,
know, right?
Lando, he's already sick of just seeing us too. So, yeah, we got some great people that put together. Frank, we talked about the fundraiser too, hitting the 30K. It's such a proud moment. Another reason why I wanted to bring up the positivity today. I know it's been kind of a real big kick, but it's like we have had so many positives. We need to celebrate these while we can because, we had a lot of negatives this past year. Think about legislation alone against, most of the people in chat and in our community stand behind, and all the legislation is making it really difficult or messed up or in some
yeah,
way, shape,
dude.
or form.
Yeah, I ran into that problem today because so I ran into a small issue, unfortunately. So one of my atomizers is now out of commission temporarily, because, and I just fucking rewicked this last night, dude. So I'm a little pissy about it, but I uh I don't have any spare glass, and I went on to Element to buy a spare glass for this RTA, and because of the adult signature plus the tax plus the shipping and everything else, like totaled up, they wanted $30,
For
30 fucking
glass,
dollars for two fucking replacement glasses for my fucking profile RTA because I smashed the fucking glass on accident earlier,
I
right?
actually wound up getting the
And
smaller ones,
so
bigger ones. Yeah.
yeah, so I bought two of the 5 mils from Otofo, and that bitch cost me $16 with shipping.
Yep. That's exactly the same thing I wound up doing a long time ago back because I broke one of my glasses. And same thing, because and I wound up buying a bulk one. That was back when eBay could still sell stuff, so I actually got them off eBay, the glass. But it was like a 5 pack, but it wasn't the glass I wanted. It was the wrong
Yeah,
one. I can't. It was the opposite. So it's like, eh. But I had the same problem with that same exact atomizer. So I know your pain.
yeah, dude. I mean, but this legislation with like the meal ban and the shit that's happening with everything and them requiring. Look, I'm not opposed to an adult signature. That's not
I'm
what
not
I'm
either.
complaining about,
Nope. Me neither.
right? My complaint is that you wanted to charge me fucking $30 because of all this dumb shit for two, for essentially 10 mils of fucking glass.
And if you really
Really?
think about it, are
That's
you gonna?
dumb
Can
as
you?
shit.
And that's
I don't
where
need
I.
an adult signature on glass, bro. There's no nicotine. It's
Exactly. It's a
fucking
tube.
glass.
It is a glass freaking tube. That is it. It's a glass tube. It could be used for other things. The fact that they want to charge that much extra and tax it and make it that difficult to get and have an adult signature is fine, but what are they gonna do with that glass? You can't even like make something out of that without like really having some serious know-how.
Yeah,
That's
dude. Like,
ridiculous.
that's so dumb. That glass probably cost 50 cents to fucking make.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's
Or
just like,
less. Probably less.
yeah, or less, right? Like, what the, that's so dumb. I'm not honestly too worried about it, right? Like, I got them fucking ordered. I got them from Latofa, which is fine. I'm okay with that. And I've still got two badass fucking RTAs that I can use. My Arbiter, which I have a bigger glass on the way because I broke the fucking big glass on accident. Um, because I set this behind my MacBook and I forgot that it was behind my I forgot it was behind my computer, and I went to push it back so I could build real quick and toppled over, and I smashed the fucking glass. So this is the 4 mil glass instead of the 6 mil glass. But I have a 6 mil glass on the way from the UK because luckily I had a friend that was able to hook me up.
Frank's
And
right
then
though.
I
If
still
his crack
and then I
pipe
still
glass,
have
you
my
would have no tax.
yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying, bro. And then I still have the my QP Juggernaut V2, which I mean, so it's fine, right? Like I could still take an RTA with me if I need to. I just fucking cleaned and rewicked that. I broke the fucking glass. Like, yeah.
Should have told me I have spares of those. I was sent you one from here, been quicker.
I mean, it's fine, dude. Honestly, $16 for two glasses. I'm okay
That's not
with
terrible.
ship. Yeah, with shipping, like that's pretty much that's $8 a glass, right? Like I'm not upset about that. It's better than fucking $15 from Element Vape.
Hey, I'm glad that Jess is coming back with her site, at least for now. That made me very, very happy to see that was happening because that
Yeah,
was one of the ones that really hit home for me. Seeing her have to shut down her site, it was one of the ones that really bothered me. You know, that for our group of family and friends, the core group where we all hang out all the time, that was a big thing. DHD tips, like that's a major one, and have her shut down was kind of a slap in the face. But I got why she did it. I mean, it
yeah,
sounded like they were really going to come down on everybody, but then the realism of the fact that they can't, they don't have enough people. But she
yeah.
was a big enough business that it's possible they could have come down on her. Like you starting off wasn't so bad, but you have other coil builders that have been in it for a long time, like M-Trick and them. You never know. And it's scary. It's
Yeah.
sad.
It is what it is. It's fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah, Derek. See, it did. It did. That one there just somehow hit me really to heart, you know. And I think it was even worse because it was not long after the That's What She Said ended too. It's like it was a double whammy with Jess, and it's like I felt it. I'm still miss the Thursday night late show. I don't know about anybody else, but I still miss them.
Oh, we all do. Trust me.
But have a very on the positive, we had that time with them. Remember, we can remember that. We can still go back and look. It's worth it. You know, we still have them. They're still around. I mean, I haven't,
Yeah,
yeah, haven't talked to Ruby Rue in a while, but Angela's
yeah,
been around a lot. Michelle's been around a lot, and I
yeah.
do have seen a
Uh,
lot of posts from Jess. So
yeah, Frank. I did see a report on that. I haven't read the article yet, but I did see an article about that earlier. That
yeah,
the government's pushing for them to hurry up and finish it up instead of taking their sweet ass time.
no, the most
Which means, look, take your sweet ass time, bro.
yeah, but even if they come up with the answer, who's going to enforce it? They're already every year needing to get bailed out constantly every year because they're always in the red. Always in the red. We're going to somehow have extra people to check all these packages. And what are we looking for? That smells too good to be a tobacco product. We better check that out. I was like, what? Really?
I mean, they're not gonna smell my packages unless they get metal smelling dogs or something. So
Exactly. Metal smelling things. Yeah, it's the truth. And yeah, we caught that. Congratulations for the job. I think he said congratulations at least 15 times. So he's really proud of you, Duchess.
yeah, but Derek was being an asshole to me, so fuck you,
Yeah,
Derek.
yeah, that's true. Amtrak's another one that gets bailed out annually, and something needs to be bailed out annually. Can't really effectively police something extra on their docket when they couldn't police the cannabis industry ever effectively throughout this whole time, and that was never even legal during the past like what? How long was it? 80 years? 100 years?
Oh, I don't even know, bro. Yeah.
So it's like if they can't police that, they can't police this. So it's a way to pacify the Karens. It's the same with the T21 thing. They had to do something or they were going to get butchered. And thrown under the bus. So they passed the T21, which is the dumbest thing because, yeah, how old do you have to be to go to the store to buy a pack of cigarettes? Oh, not 21. So why can you not get a harm reduction alternative at the same age? It's just
Well, no,
mind-boggling.
you gotta be 18 or you gotta be 21 now to buy cigarettes too.
Oh, you do? Is it federally?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it did pass for both, but still, that's still ridiculous. If you can go die for your,
Yeah, all
yeah,
tobacco products, including vapor, you have to be 21.
you can go to war for your country at 18, but you can't choose what you want to do with your life.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't get, right? Like, here's the thing, right? Like you said, you you can't you can't smoke, you can't drink, but you can sign up to fucking essentially commit suicide. Really?
yeah. If
I
it's
mean,
during
because
wartime,
look, there's, and I don't mean to be so grim about it, right? But there's a real possibility that something could go wrong. You know what I mean? Like anything could happen in the blink of an eye. So I don't understand that.
how many
Like
people are deployed out to
if you look
Iraq?
at yeah, like if you look at other countries like the UK or anywhere in like Europe, right? Like you can drink at like 16 and 18 years old and you can smoke at 16 and 18 years old, right? But in America, they're like signing up to go kill yourself, serve your country doing it. But don't you dare have a drop of alcohol.
You know
I think
what's going
that's
to
dumb.
happen? They're going to regret it in 20 years because of the way they want to run the system and the way it's obvious they want to run it. And this is where we get into discussion sometimes overseas. Running it is in America, it benefits them for you to only last until you're approximately 60 to 65 years old and then be gone because otherwise they have to pay Social Security, they have to pay your benefits. So
Hmm.
in 20, 25 years, when people didn't pick up smoking or drinking because they made them wait so long, they lose out. They have to pay you longer. Then 25 years, 20, 25 years, they're going to be like, well, we made a mistake. We can't afford this. Have to stop Social Security and all your benefits. You watch. It wouldn't surprise me even a little. And
No, it wouldn't surprise me either.
no. Yeah, Frank, I remember when they had the like literally for the longest time they had that push button like thing where you pulled the arm out to pull your cigarettes out, the vending machine thing and the
Hmm.
post office. They had it right at the
Yeah,
post
dude,
office.
and like in the bathrooms and shit like that at
Yep.
like rest stops.
Yep.
Hmm.
Bars had it that way too. A lot of times, I mean, they would
Yeah,
have them
dude.
behind the bar,
But
but they'd also have the one there so that the bar was busy. You could still get your cigarettes. Yeah.
yeah, dude, when I started smoking, granted I wasn't old enough just yet, right, to buy cigarettes, but when I first started smoking, bro, cigarettes were still $3 a fucking pack for marbles, and they're fucking 8.50 now or whatever the fuck they are. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Money, money, money talks.
Yep, and then the money got too expensive. People were not buying them as much, and they're looking for a cheaper alternative. Started switching to vape. Oh, we're losing money. Let's go and see how can we make them pushed in a corner so we can tax them. Oh, we push them hard enough, they have no choice but to accept us to tax the crap out of them. Otherwise, they'll not be around. Hey, we figured it out. We'll just start a bunch of lies.
Yeah,
It's basically what happened. Just one lie and a bunch of lies in a circle. Oh,
yeah,
that lie is no
right.
longer valid. They pushed enough. Oh, let's move the other one back up again. And they're still
Yeah,
doing it.
yep, one hundred
Popcorn lung
percent. Like,
still keeps coming up. It's like it's been
yeah,
disproven.
this is giving me fucking gingivitis
Yep. Yeah.
because
It's
it's
just
spreading germs through my mouth right now, sucking in vapor.
yeah, and especially with the antibacterial in it. That's really bad for you.
Idiot.
Yeah. It's funny that most people that you've talked to that vape now, they don't even get sick like they did before. Not even close.
Dude, I don't. I
I don't.
know I haven't.
And
I
if I
used to
do,
get
it's
sick
it's
twice a year, right? And it was when the seasons would change, going
yep.
from really fucking cold to it warming up and being slightly hot, and then when it was really fucking hot and it started getting cold.
Yep.
When the
Every
summer
spring
and the
and
winter
every
would
fall.
change over here, right? I would get sick and I'd be down for like, 2, 3 days at the max. And that hasn't happened in years since I quit smoking 4 years ago.
I got bronchitis almost every fall, at least for a short period of time, and sometimes that would linger for a month. And it sucked. And since vaping, not once, not one time. But no, that's not good for you. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it is all about the money. It has been. It's been that way all along. But we're gonna have to start cutting this short because we're getting really close to time for Mr. Grim Green to come on for his backwards Thursday session. So, is everybody ready for this? I am. I love spending
Well, I
time
got a
hanging on
movie
it.
to finish or actually start watching rather. So I'll probably be missing it. Plus, I have to call my dad back.
Yeah, I finished the
Uh,
movies yesterday, Lando, so we'll be all set for the night. I will say I enjoyed yours more. Just letting you know if you haven't watched mine yet. Although you'll like the same things you always say that you want. Just mine has a really slow start. So be prepared if that's the one you're watching. Yeah,
yeah,
you'll see.
I'm watching yours last.
Yeah,
I
I
watched
don't.
mine first. I
I do
watched
not
that
blame you.
one yesterday.
Yep. That said, there will be another episode of What in a Horror podcast this weekend. So yeah, Lando, where are all the digits and stuff for that? What do you got for info on that?
I'm pretty sure Eddie will put the link in chat. Um, but no, if you got any movie suggestions, you can hit me up at whatinthehorrorpodcast at gmail.com. We pretty much review just about anything that's in English, anyways, because I can't watch anything that isn't in English because I can't pay attention to what's going on in the movie, plus read what they're saying. I'm just slow minded like that. But when it comes to that, you can find me on there. My Instagram is Lano.715. I post stupid shit on there sometimes. But yeah, that's it for me.
And Duchess, you got a show and everything now. So like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, all right. Well, first and foremost, thank you, Tim, for having us on. It's been an absolute pleasure to come hang out with you and also join in on the shenanigans here. Otherwise, if you want to follow me, you can always follow me on IG. That's at Duchess_coils over on IG. The link to my order form is on my IG page, and or you can go to duchesscoils.com where you can pick up some of the merch and or if you click the little chain link looking logo up in the top right hand corner next to the camera, that'll take you to the order form. The camera will take you straight to my IG, which again has the order form link on there. So either way, you're going to be able to find it. Um, Otherwise, if you have any building questions, then you can email codenamewired@gmail.com, and one of the three panel members, either myself, Clown, and or Sloan, aka the Cloud Cartel UK, will get to that question. We are planning something big coming up for a guest. So don't know when that's going to happen, but we're planning that out. We gotta organize some stuff, but I do know that all of us have gotten our builds taken care of, and we're all testing things. My staggered fuse claptons are actually in this passage right now. So if you want to find out what we think about them and what we did to build them, then you can always tune into the Codename Wired over on the Cloud Cartel YouTube channel um, on Sunday, the 27th. That's at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 for you guys in Central Time, and 8:30 British Summertime for those of our fellow fantastic human beings over across the pond. Otherwise, I do have a couple of things that I'm working on. Testers went out. I already these are actually the last two packages I'm about to take them to the post office here in a little bit for the MTLs and the quad cores that I'm going to be working on
Ooh, quad
to add
course.
to add to the menu. So yeah, for single coil use actually. Um, and so I got a couple things that I'm working on that are in the works to add to my menu. Otherwise, think that's it from me. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. If I missed something, then I'm sorry.
Yep. That said, I'm gonna. I mean, if you enjoy part of the vaping community, and if you're not, come check out the vlog on Grim Green's channel tonight because it's actually, I don't know,
Oh,
Thursday night vlogs always the thing. It's one of my favorite
I,
parts of the week.
I did forget one thing.
Yep.
If you do want to follow the show, Codename Wired, you can follow us on IG. That's at codename.wired over on IG. And we post up like our build photos after we talk about them on the show, etc. Blah, blah,
Yeah, I forgot. I do
blah.
follow that.
Yeah,
I see the pictures. Uh, yeah, and Addie did put the link in for you guys too. So, yeah, it's like every
I
three
appreciate it.
weeks, right? You're on every 3 weeks, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, every
every
three.
3 weeks. So we had a show on the 6th. Our next show is coming up on June 27th.
All right. Now, like I said, everybody have a really good time. Focus on the positives. There's too many negatives in this life. You don't need to focus on those. Just enjoy your day as you can. And if you're having problems, reach out. Check and chat. There is the link that Nightbot has been dropping for the Discord. If that doesn't work, reach out to one of us. Anyone here could even get you in to the Discord. Speaking of, there is a Discord for the What No Horror podcast as well. I don't know if Lando did mention.
Yep.
Oh, you did? Okay. But does that as well. But yeah, just try to be positive. It's been a negative year and it's starting to turn around. If we start focusing on those positives, we'll start feeling better and get out of this funk because it's definitely, like Duchess was saying, that 2 weeks trying to find a job started self doubt. It's in your head. If we've had a year of self doubt with the world, we got to break that and get out of that funk. And the best way is just to be positive.
Yeah.
All right. Love you all. Bye.
Peace.